Right now, in the next few seconds, you have the chance to claim your life before the world decides for you. Will you take it, or will you watch others live the future meant for you? There is a moment, an infinitely brief fracture in time, before any great work is done, before any fortune is built, before any seemingly impossible summit is reached, a moment when the entire universe of your future hinges on a single, silent transaction. It is the moment of the claim, not a wish, not a hope, not a faint desire whispered into the hollow darkness, but a definitive internal seizure of a reality that does not yet exist, a moment when the unseen becomes more real than the ground beneath your feet. Most people spend their lives reacting to circumstances. The great ones create them, and the creation begins with that single burning thought, the definitive claim of the future you are here to manifest. Look back at the tapestry of history. Every name you recall, every titan etched into the marble of time, did not wait for the world to hand them their destiny. They took it. They burned their bridges to the past and declared, with an unshakable conviction, what must be. Think of a young Andrew Carnegie, who didn't just want to be a powerful industrialist. He claimed the reality of his steel empire long before the first mill was built, seeing the railroads and the skyscrapers not as dreams, but as inevitable consequences of his definite chief aim. This is not arrogance. This is philosophical engineering. It is the realization that the world you perceive is merely a consequence of the world you believe into existence. Everything that exists in the physical realm, the chair you sit on, the device you hold, the roads you drive on, was once an invisible thought given form only because someone had the audacity to claim its necessity. We stand today in an age of unprecedented distraction, where the external noise is so loud it deafens the inner voice. We are bombarded by the comparative existence of others, constantly being pulled into the vortex of external validation. But the core principle remains timeless. Your ultimate success is not a negotiation with your environment. It is a command issued from your inner mind, and that command must be fueled by a belief so fierce it borders on the fanatic. A belief that understands its own power not as a mystical force, but as the raw psychological energy required to sustain colossal effort. Without this, every dream is merely a house built on sand, vulnerable to the first wave of doubt or difficulty. The world tests your claim. It sends resistance, mockery, and crushing setbacks to see if you were serious or just dabbling. And this is the great secret. The universe doesn't respond to wishing, it responds to conviction. It responds to the deep, resonant certainty that says, I have decided. This is done. This conviction is the first act of true creation. It is the psychological bedrock upon which you must lay the foundation of clarity. Many people fail not for lack of effort, but for lack of a singular, crystallized, terrifyingly specific target. They speak in generalities. I want to be successful. I want to be wealthy. I want to be happy. These are not claims, they are murmurs. A claim demands detail. It demands a number, a date, a tangible form, a structure you can draw and label. It demands a vision so sharp that you can step into it, smell the air, feel the texture of your ultimate reality. Napoleon Hill called this the definite chief aim, and it is the master key to personal achievement. Thomas Edison, when facing the seemingly insurmountable challenge of creating a practical electric light, didn't merely hope to create illumination. He pursued a specific, carbonized cotton thread, understanding the precise chemical and physical properties required. His vision was not a vague glow, it was a specific, enduring, commercial light bulb. The clarity of his vision allowed him to filter out the thousands of experiments that failed, because he knew exactly what the successful outcome looked like. Your future must be built on the same principle of absolute clarity. Take a moment right now not to think about what you might try to do, but to declare what you will have, what you will become, and what you will contribute. Write it down, speak it aloud, engrave it into your mind. This is not a rough draft. This is the covenant. This covenant, once forged, becomes the magnetic pole that pulls every necessary resource, every synchronistic opportunity, and every powerful ally into your orbit. Without it, you are a ship without a rudder, adrift on vast and unforgiving ocean of life. powered only by the random winds of chance. Clarity is not a luxury, it is the fundamental tool of the masterful architect of self, and once that foundation is solid, once that vision is crystallized, you must move immediately into the unforgiving yet liberating forge of discipline. The greatest difference between the dreamer and the doer is not intellect, talent, or even opportunity. It is the consistent, brutal application of discipline. Discipline is the commitment to the claim long after the emotional euphoria of the initial declaration has faded. It is the cold, hard decision to execute the necessary task, even when you feel resistant, exhausted, or utterly uninspired. It is the non-negotiable price of your future. Walt Disney didn't build an empire on a single magical drawing. He built it on a relentless, almost fanatical discipline of storytelling, animation quality, and an unwavering commitment to his vision, even when investors doubted and critics scoffed. He worked within the discipline of his own imagination, refining, iterating, and perfecting until the fantasy became physical reality. Discipline is the bridge that connects the ideal, which is your claim, to the actual, which is your result. And what is the true nature of this discipline? It is the mastery of self. It is the ability to control your own mind, to direct your focus, and to conquer the internal resistance that whispers tempting distractions. Hill understood that the greatest battle is fought not against competitors or circumstances, but against the insidious, lazy side of your own nature. Most people are governed by their momentary feelings. They work when they feel motivated, they rest when they feel tired, and they stop when they feel challenged. The truly successful are governed by their purpose. They operate on a fixed schedule of action, a rigorous itinerary of effort, irrespective of their emotional state. They treat their commitments to themselves with the same gravity they would treat a signed contract with a major corporation. Your success is a business, and you are the only employee who can fire you. Discipline is the strict yet loving manager you must hire to run the operation. It is the mechanism that translates the abstract power of your belief into the concrete power of consistent action. Action, however, is often misunderstood. It is not mere busy work. It is not the endless shuffling of papers or the perpetual state of getting ready to get ready. It is intelligent, directed action, movement that directly serves the crystallized vision. Every step must be measured against the definite chief aim. Does this action move me closer to the claim I have made, or does it merely fill time? A mind that is truly committed to a claim becomes a relentless prioritization machine, discarding anything that does not contribute to the outcome. This is where the power of focused action eclipses the weakness of scattered effort. Lincoln, during the darkest days of the Civil War, was not simply busy. Every cabinet meeting, every decree, every grueling letter was a focused action aimed at the singular goal of preserving the Union. His energy was not diffuse, it was laser, focused, channeled by his purpose, and executed with an indefatigable consistency. The universe respects speed. The moment you make your claim, you must back it up with a ferocious, immediate momentum. Hesitation is the graveyard of great ideas. The voice of doubt speaks only when you pause. Once you are in motion, once the inertia is established, doubt cannot catch you. Velocity becomes your shield. This does not mean reckless abandon, but rather a calculated, persistent velocity towards your goal, recognizing that a mediocre plan executed immediately and fiercely is superior to a perfect plan perpetually delayed. Your claim requires proof that you are serious, and that proof is only found in the trail of action you leave behind you. But as you move, you must also be ready to encounter the inevitable friction, the inevitable setback, the moments when your current efforts seem to yield nothing but dust. This is where the philosophy of adaptability and the furnace of resilience separate the masters from the masses. Failure is not a person, it is an event, and every failure contains a seed of equivalent opportunity. The person who quits simply refuses to look for the seed. The master understands that a setback is merely the universe's way of forcing you to recalculate your path, to reconsider your methodology, to learn.